But now we go into one of my favorite Jason movies. And while some people think, was this direction really necessary? Well, okay, we killed Jason in Part 4. Pretty definitively, too. Part 5, they saw how much money Part 4 killed at the box office, pun intended. And New Beginning did well, but, you know, a lot of people were ticked that Jason really wasn't back. So director Tom McLaughlin got a brilliant idea and said, you know, we ought to treat this movie like an old Universal monster movie. I mean, the movie starts with the return of Tommy Jarvis. This is the third and final chapter in the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, each played by a different actor. In Part 4 was Corey Feldman. In Part 5 was a guy named John Shepard. Part 6 is Tom Matthews. Tom Matthews is best known for Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2. But Tom comes back and he plays, you know, Tommy Jarvis, and he did a fantastic job adapting the role. Tommy is determined once and for all to end his nightmares, to end his, you know, visions, and put Jason to rest once and for all. The movie even has this great opening where it looks like something out of the old Frankenstein movies. Two people going through a cemetery with, you know, shovels and, you know, stuff. And then, and I will say this much because, you know, I'm not going to give away the rest of the movie, but needless to say, I have to mention this. Jason is resurrected a la Frankenstein. A lightning bolt strikes his corpse, and he's resurrected. You know, if you combine Frankenstein being brought back, it's the same thing that works for Jason. There is a fantastic the credits opening, much like James Bond. It's got, you know, instead of James Bond walking on the screen, pointing his gun and shooting at the screen, and it's this time Jason walks on the screen, turns around and slashes with a machete. I loved it. The movie is fun. It begins the supernatural's Jason, you know, the undead, unstoppable creature, which, you know, Jason may have been scarier, and I will say that. He may have been scarier in the first 4 movies. Well, 2 through 4. But I have to say, I prefer the undead Jason. Because he's just, you know, he's such a badass. You know, he goes around and he just has this unstoppable behavior, and his kills become more and more, you know, just crazy because he's got such insane strength now. C.J. Graham portrayed Jason in this one. This was the only film C.J. played Jason in. After this one, Kane Hodder would take over the role, making Jason his own for the next 4 movies, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But I have to say, this is pretty good. It's got commentary. It's got another chapter of the Lost Tales from Camp Blood. It's got the 3rd chapter of the Crystal Lake Massacres Revisited. It's got a making of called Jason Lives, the Making of Friday 6. A special section on meeting Mr. Voorhees, which was an unused ending about us actually finally meeting the father, which we learn in Jason Goes to Hell his name is Elias Voorhees. But, you know, this would have been the first physical appearance of the character. We have never seen what his father looks like in the movies. Slash scenes, you know, deleted scenes, and finally the theatrical teaser. There never was an actually full trailer. One thing missing from this I think should have been on here was the music video created for this movie by my all-time favorite musician, Alice Cooper. When he made his triumphant return in 1986 to the world of music, after a 3-year hiatus from quitting the booze in September of '83, he made a music video for his brand new comeback album called Constrictor. The music video is a song taken from that called He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask, which was the theme song for Friday 6. The video is just brilliant. And the great thing about the movie, besides the great score for the film, we also got 3 Alice Cooper songs in the movie. We got He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask, Hard Rock Summer, which was never released on CD of any kind until Alice Cooper's box set in 1999, The Life and Crimes of Alice Cooper. It was one of the tracks on there. And from Constrictor, Teenage Frankenstein. Not to be confused with his later big hit, Feed My Frankenstein, used in Wayne's World. But that music video would have been a great bonus, but I guess they couldn't get the rights to it or something. But all in all, great humor in this movie. Another great DVD from, I never thought I'd say this, another great DVD from Paramount. who I know is just cashing in on this, you know, and I understand, and I just dropped the DVD. Oh well. But all in all, I have to say I've been quite pleased with these special editions. I wish they would have did this the first time, because, you know, I was a sucker and bought the really cool box set, you know, Friday the 13th, From Crystal Lake to Manhattan, the ultimate box set. It, you know, they put 2 movies on each disc, and then they gave you a fifth disc that was all these extras. And, you know, it's got some neat extras and stuff on there, and, you know, I'm not going to get rid of it or anything, but it's just the principle of the thing. I hate double dipping, but there are a few movies or franchises I will do the double dipping with. Halloween, the original movie, is one I will probably double dip until the end of time. If they keep coming up with stuff I don't have, I've got to have it. I love that movie to death. Before I close, I want to say, first off, I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in regularly, especially to everyone who tuned into my tribute to Brian Nelson, Alice's assistant who passed away. The comments have been overwhelmingly touching. I'm sorry I don't get a chance to write back as much as I should. I'm going to start trying to do that. If there's anything also you all want me to try to do, I'll be glad to do that as well. Hopefully it's something I have. I do subscribe to Netflix, so if there's ever a movie y'all want me to try to review, but keep in mind that it's probably got to be something that I'll hopefully at least fit into my realm of interest. But all in all, I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this. I've thoroughly enjoyed having you all watch this. It's been a real pleasure. It's nice to meet up with other people out there that have the same interest. But my next review will be of probably my most anticipated movie of the summer. I will be seeing with 3 of my buddies Transformers Revenge of the Fallen in IMAX 10 o'clock Wednesday night. So probably I will make a recording of it Thursday night or Friday and have it posted by next weekend. So Steven has something to tell me. Oh, okay. He's telling me he needs to wash the blood off of his appendages. Apparently, he had a little too much fun with a rat. That crazy Steven. What am I going to do with him? Oh, well. Until next time, I leave you with these great words of wisdom from Mrs. Voorhees. I was the cook that day, preparing meals. Jason should have been watched every minute. He wasn't a very good swimmer.
Jason belongs in hell, and I'm gonna see he gets there.
It's over. It's finally over. Jason's home.